What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Destiny 2 Season of the Worthy video. Today, so we'll be going over the future roll call hand cannon that came back, the True Prophecy. Now, how to obtain this hand cannon, it's basically a random drop from the world. You actually can't get it from the future roll call vendor, Lakshmi. But, I mean, you do have a chance of getting a pretty solid roll on this thing. Going over the Archetype, it is aggressive frame, so it is the slowest firing, but it's high damage, so you do have to be able to land your shots, but if you don't, it could be very, very critical. This is why it kind of gets outperformed by things like spare rations and even stuff that falls into the 150, which is the adaptive frame hand cannon archetype, but this does fall in with the same archetype as the Duke MK44 and the Iron Banner one, which is Criminal's Dagger, and I see a lot of people get some pretty solid rolls on the Duke and are able to use that and be able to drop people very, very quickly with the high damage that you can get with it. Let's go over PVE. Obviously, the archetype, like, I feel like for hand cannons, it doesn't really matter. They're very popular. I do have two God Roll Duke MK44s. One comes with Rapid Hit Rampage, one comes with Outlaw Rampage, both with, you know, extended mag, so I get more ammo in the magazine, and I feel like being able... Rapid Hit and Outlaw are both good, so it doesn't really matter, and so just going over the perks that you can actually get on this thing, I feel like for the sights, it doesn't really matter. Like, one really doesn't completely outperform the other. I would say just focus on maybe handling and reload over like range and stability, considering this thing already has a good amount of range, considering it is a higher damage archetype. Now, for some of the better perks that I believe you can get on this thing, it'd probably be something like a pendant mag or extended mag to be able to get way more ammo, but obviously things like, you know, tactical mag or flared mag well would work as well. Perk column number 1, you do have overflow, so basically running over any ammo automatically reloads this thing, which is really nice. You also have Grave Robber, basically get a melee kill and it refills the magazine. The other two well, I shouldn't say two, other few perks, you have Rangefinder and Opening Shot. Those are more catered for PvP. Then you have Field Prep, which isn't horrible. You do get a faster reload, but that's only when crouching. You do get more ammo. It is a primary, so I feel like you get primary ammo all the time, so it doesn't really matter. Trade column number 2, you do have Demolitionist, and then this Elemental Capacitor, it doesn't really matter. Rampage, that's probably the best option here out of all of them. So if you can pair Rampage up with something like Overflow or even Grave Robber, that'd be good, because all you have to do is run over ammo, you never have to reload it. And then second thing is that if you have Grave Robber on, all you have to do is get a melee, and boom, it's automatically reloaded anyway. You do have the time payload and the explosive payload. Doesn't really matter for PvE in my opinion. I think Rampage would be your best bet here. Now, going over PvP, this can come with some pretty solid PvP rolls. I would say the PvP god roll to go with on this thing, I guess like sight-wise, I guess for some reason everybody decides one sight's the best one out of all of them. I think it's a little different between PC and console because people max out range on PC, where console, it's a little different, but sight-wise, I would just say pick the sight you're most comfortable with, in my opinion. For magazine, I would go with accurized rounds to be able to get that range. Trade column number 1, you have two options here which are interesting. Rangefinder and then Opening Shot. I would choose Rangefinder over Opening Shot, because Opening Shot only does it on the first round of the magazine, and then it can re-up, but you have to wait a few seconds, and obviously you're just going to be shooting like crazy anyway. But Rangefinder, it does zoom in your sights just a little bit, but every single round that you get gets a boost to your range by a lot, which is very, very nice. And then, I guess trade column number 2, I feel like the two best ones here, you either have time payload or the explosive payload. One, you automatically get the explosive right off the bat. The second one is a delayed explosion. So, I mean, with me using the delayed explosion, I actually had a really good time with it, but I find that both work very, very well. I think with the time one, as long as you hit them and stick them, the explosion does not have a range drop off like the explosive rounds does now. So I would go with time payload. So maybe pair up something like Rangefinder and time payload, because those two would go together. I had Opening Shot and time payload, and that worked very, very well. But I think Rangefinder would just be a little bit better in general. Going over Gambit, I'm just going to count this weapon out just because I think we all know there are already pretty catered weapons and builds for Gambit already. And with this thing, with Bungie changing up how weapon perks work, and you can't get a complete 100% god roll like Outlaw Rampage or something like that, I'm just going to automatically count this thing out for Gambit. Plus, it's a hand cannon, so it's not like you're going to be taking out any Guardians with it, especially when you invade. They're probably just going to blast you from a distance anyway, unless you do get close enough, but by that time, you're probably going to get shotgun, so you might as well whip out a shotgun, right? Overall, I would highly recommend testing this thing out in the Crucible. Maybe not in PvE so much, just because there's already great weapons that you can get in PvE. But in PvP, this does have some potential, especially in that higher damage archetype of aggressive frame hand cannons. I believe this one is better than the Iron Banner one, because the Iron Banner, I don't know what it is with that Iron Banner one, but you can't get a lot of great perks on it for some reason. I don't know, but highly recommend testing it out in PvP. Alright guys, looks like we're at the end of the video. Just wanted to cover 3 things with you. Number 1, about support. If you're looking for the #1 best way to support me, there's a link below that'll take you to a 4-minute video that I made a while ago. If you want to go watch that, that'd be awesome. If not, it's definitely not going to hurt my feelings. You can also subscribe to the channel, like this video, share this video, follow me on social media with the links below, and all that great jazz. Number 2, regarding social media, I have a Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, Discord, and a few others. If you would like to keep up to date on Destiny 2 related content, be sure to use those links below to find me on those platforms. And number 3, going over the clan, if you're looking to join my clan, we have some spots open on all platforms. We're looking for active players and community members in the Destiny community. And typically we like to play casual PvE and PvP a majority of the time. I'm definitely all about that solo grind, but I'm willing to definitely play with people in the community, like definitely willing to do that. If you're looking to join, there's a link to the clan page on the Bungie.net site below, and all you have to do is request to join and I'll approve it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll catch you next time.